Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss terms influence and anxiety of influence. Introduction. The concept of influence has long been a central topic of discussion in literary criticism and historical analysis. It refers to the impact of one author or literary tradition on a later writer, who adopts and transforms elements from the earlier work. This influence can be seen in various aspects, such as subject matter, form, or style, and has been a recurring theme in the study of literature across centuries. Traditional discussions often explore the influence of renowned literary figures like Homer on Virgil, Virgil on Milton, Milton on Wordsworth, and Wordsworth on Wallace Stevens, among others. Harold Bloom's The Anxiety of Influence. In contemporary criticism, Harold Bloom introduced the idea of the anxiety of influence as a radical revision of the conventional theory of influence. According to Bloom, influence is not a simple direct borrowing or assimilation of materials from earlier writers. Instead, it involves a complex process where a later poet's imagination is seized by the work of a precursor. This encounter leads to ambivalent feelings of admiration, hate, envy, and fear as the later poet strives for autonomy and originality in the face of the precursor's work. Bloom's 6 revisionary ratios. Bloom identifies 6 revisionary ratios that operate in reading a precursor, which he likens to Freud's defense mechanisms. These ratios function as the means through which a poet distorts the work of a predecessor, seeking to safeguard their own freedom and priority as they create an original poem. However, even the most successful belated poet can only achieve an illusion of priority over the precursor, claiming an apparent escape from the influence and surpassing greatness. The notion of misinterpretation. Central to Bloom's theory is the notion that every poem is a misinterpretation of a parent poem. He advocates for antithetical criticism, where critics read any poem as the poet's deliberate misinterpretation of a precursor or poetry in general. These strong readings challenge the traditional interpretations and shed new light on the creative process. Bloom's theory and its development. Bloom's theory has its precursor in Walter Jackson Bates' The Burden of the Past and the English Poet, which explored poets' struggles since 1660 to overcome the fear that their predecessors might have exhausted all possibilities of writing original poems. Bloom further developed this story in The Anxiety of Influence and demonstrated its application to diverse poetic texts in subsequent works. Critiques of Bloom's theory. However, Bloom's theory has not been without critique. Scholars like Frank Lantricia and David Feit have examined and analyzed the implications and limitations of this theory of literature. Moreover, Bloom's theory has mainly focused on male poets, leaving room for exploration of the anxiety of influence in women writers, as demonstrated by Sandra Gilbert and Susan Kubar in The Mad Woman in the Attic. Conclusion. In conclusion, the concept of influence has played a significant role in literary criticism throughout history. Harold Bloom's theory of the anxiety of influence offers a radical perspective on how poets interact with their predecessors, leading to both admiration and rebellion. It challenges traditional notions of influence and encourages critics to engage in antithetical readings that uncover new dimensions of poetic creativity. So this was the discussion on the terms influence and anxiety of influence. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other term. Until then, goodbye and thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary terms and literary theory. If you want to study the notes and MCQs related to this term, you can click the link given in the description. We are also going to start our online and offline classes for UGC NET for English literature very soon. So stay connected with us.